I didn't grow up knowing right or wrong.
Are you saying this is self-defense?
No, sir.
Okay, but so that's wrong in here, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so did you lie in here?
No,
Excuse me?
no, sir.
But it says self-defense here. You killed one individual, but then you shot 3 individuals that day. You do realize that, correct? And there are people out there that you were randomly shooting at. And then you say a witness of yours backed out. So how did he back out? Because he was going to tell the truth?
I don't know.
This teenage killer is standing before the court, facing up to 25 years in prison for murder. His record stretches back years, with repeated time in juvenile detention and jail. Despite having a 6-year-old son, he has never spent a single day raising him. Now, with his future hanging in the balance, he's asking the court for mercy. But with a past like this, that's a difficult argument to make, especially in front of Judge Boyd, who has a reputation for holding offenders accountable. Will the judge show compassion, or will he impose the full 25-year sentence? Watch the hearing and decide for yourself.
State of Texas versus Fabian Vega. And are you Mr. Vega?
Yes, ma'am.
To the offense of murder, you entered a plea of true to the enhancement. The court found the enhancement true based upon your plea of true, and the court found there was sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court found you guilty. According to your plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 25 years in the prison. Defense, any witnesses?
Yes, one witness, Your Honor.
All right, call your witness. Brenda Torres.
Ms. Torres, what is your relationship to the defendant? His wife. How old are you now, Ms. Torres?
I'm 22.
You're 22.
Yes,
And you have a 6-year-old child.
I do.
Have you raised that child alone?
I have.
That's not an easy thing to do, is it?
No, it's not.
Is it easier to keep your voice up so everybody can hear you? All right, let's do that then. Okay, so you say you were separated from Mr. Vega at the point that you were pregnant because Mr. Vega, repeat what you said,
He
please.
was in juvenile at the time. That's when I was pregnant.
What do you look forward to, if anything?
To coming home and being able to recreate the family that we started in the first place.
How do you care for your son as a single mother? Do you have a job, for example?
I do. I'm a manager at Whataburger. At Whataburger?
And are you this? Who cares for your? Well, he goes to school while you're at your work.
At work, yes.
Okay.
Ma'am, how much time did the defendant, Fabian Vega, spend with that son back then?
None, because he was in juvenile.
So none. Has he, and he's never seen him?
He's seen him.
Seen him. But he's participated in this son, the 6-year-old, your son's life. How much?
None, because he's been in juvenile and in jail.
He's in juvenile in jail, but he was not in jail when he committed this murder.
Yes, I know.
Okay, so how much time did he spend with the son then?
He didn't.
Okay, thank you. No further questions, Your
All
Honor.
right, what's your son's last name?
Becca?
All right, thank you.
Please.
All right. He's going to be subject to cross-examination. I understand what allocution is, but if he wants to give his statement, he's going to be subject to cross-examination. He gave up the right to remain silent when he entered his plea.
All right. Let me just check with him and then see what he says.
Okay.
Your Honor, he would like to allocute.
All right, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you lower your hand. State your name for the record.
Fabian Vega.
All right, defense.
I believe he just wants to share with the court some few brief words.
Yes, ma'am. I want to say that I know I took a lot that I can't get back, and I want to apologize to my victim's family for so much pain that I caused them and for their loss. And I regret everything I did. So emotional and stuff like that. I know I'm going to prison, and I would want to get myself right over there by getting my GED because I never finished high school. Take drug classes. I had a problem with drugs in the past, and take parenting classes to better myself to go home to be a good father to my son and just go home clean and just be positive out there and find myself in no more than situations like I'm in right now. And I ask that you show mercy on me, on the descendants, a wife and a son that need me out there, and I like to go back to them home as fast as I can.
Any questions?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Mr. Vega, you stated in the, when you were asked about this incident here, you said that in here it says, my neighbors told me them where I was, my name, and that I had tattoos. I tried to fight it with self-defense. So are you saying this is self-defense?
No, sir.
Okay, but so that's wrong in here. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so did you lie in here?
No,
Excuse me?
no, sir.
But it says self-defense here.
I was in fear of my life at that moment. I been shot at, but he seemed proud in the past, so it was out of fear, I guess.
So do you feel that you had a right to kill that day?
No, sir. I feel like I should have handled the situation a lot like different. It was out of fear, I guess, like my reaction.
You know you didn't just you killed one individual, but then you shot three individuals that day. You do realize that, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that you were shooting into a park, Father Benavides Park. You're aware of that.
Yes, sir.
And there are people out there that you were randomly shooting at. You're aware of that.
Yes, sir.
And then you say a witness of yours backed out. Who was the witness?
My roommate Caleb.
Caleb was willing to testify against you. You do realize that.
Yes, sir.
So how did he back out? Because he was going to tell the truth?
I don't know.
No further questions, Your Honor.
The prosecutor made a very strong case, and you can tell he genuinely cares about what happens in the community. In a lot of courtroom hearings, prosecutors stick to the basics, but this one clearly believed something wasn't adding up. The defendant's behavior also feels unusual. There's an odd vibe that makes it seem like there's more to this story than what's being said in court. His roommate was expected to testify against him, but suddenly backed out right before the trial, and that's the kind of detail that naturally raises questions. Then there's the fact that he's only 22 years old, already married, and sitting in jail. It's a surprising situation, and if he ends up serving a lengthy sentence, his wife will likely be the one left dealing with the consequences for years to come. After the prosecutor's tough line of questioning, this hearing appears to be moving in a very difficult direction for the defendant. At this point, avoiding the full 25-year sentence looks like an uphill battle.
Mr. Vega, did you grow up your entire childhood with both your parents?
No, sir.
Can you please explain that to me?
I grew up on like CPS care, so I was never around my mom and dad, and I was always like I grew up having like a hard life. So I don't blame no one for my actions that I did. It's just I didn't grow up knowing right or wrong.
When you were when did CPS order you into care of a foster home?
Yes, sir.
And how was your experience with that foster family?
It was bad, real bad.
You still keep in touch with that foster family?
No, sir.
You still keep in touch with your mother, your father regularly?
No, sir.
So when you go to prison, you said you're going to take parenting classes?
Yes, sir.
Why would you need to learn how to be a loving father?
I was never taught like how to be one. I never had that growing up, so I would like to learn. So when I go home, I could be one. That's my plan.
What about the drugs?
With the drugs as well. My plan on going down there and taking drug tests too as well. I had a bad drug problem growing up, and I would like to fix that before I do go home.
And why didn't you ever graduate high school?
I was always incarcerated and not focused.
Well, what are you going to be focused on when you go to prison?
My GED.
You're just going to go to prison and they're going to hand you your GED?
No, sir. I'm gonna go to class and get my GED. My GED.
Okay. No further questions, Your Honor.
Anything else?
Nothing, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Vega, why does it take you going to prison for you to wake up and realize that you right what's right from wrong? I don't understand that. Like, why does it take going to prison for you to say, I'm going to get my GED, I'm going to be in my son's life, I'm going to be a good parent, I'm going to get off drugs? Because I'm looking at your history, and you've been in trouble with the law as a juvenile since 2013. And It started with graffiti at a church or a school, and you were on deferred for that for 6 months. And I know, because I've toured their facilities, I know they give you an opportunity for your GED and for you to do all of that and get your life on track. And then you pick up another case in 2014. Then you are in need of supervision in 2015. And then you have a possession in 2015 and evading in 2015. And this, what I'm talking about, is just your juvenile history. And it goes on and on and on. 2016, 2017, all juvenile. And then you have this incident out of Waco, where I'm assuming you went to TYC. I know they don't call it TYC anymore, but you went there. And it appears that you didn't learn anything. And then now we're here for this. And how old are you?
23.
All right, you're 23. And I know what young people think because I was in your position. When people get sentenced to go to prison and they're young, they think it's the end of the world for them. But time goes by so quickly. I can't believe how quickly this year is passing. And you still have a chance to improve your life. Like there's someone here who's dead. They're not, and I want you to think about this, they're not having graduations. If they were going to graduate, you can say, hey, that person was a horrible person too, or did horrible things. But guess what? They're not going to graduate. They're not going to see any grandchildren maybe they were going to have. They're not going to get a chance to improve themselves here on the planet because they're no longer with us. So there are many things that they won't be able to do. I don't understand why, if you have a child who's 6 years old, instead of doing this, why were you not spending as much time with them as you could? The witness tells me that you're very, very loving. Then a very loving person would be, I want to spend as much time with my son as I can because I've missed out so much on his life. I went through Child Protective Services, so I want to make sure my son doesn't go through that. I didn't have a good father, so I want to make sure my son has that. That's not so much about you knowing right from wrong. That's just like common. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. The court will hear argument. His cap is 25 years. State, I'm assuming you're asking for 25?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And defense?
Our defense is asking for mercy, and we're asking for that in a situation where there's been a death, a murder, and that life can't be brought back. So there's nothing we can say to change that fact. This young man, having growing up without a father and mother, there's nothing we can do to change that either. This young man making poor choices, not being around his son as his son was growing up, and being rather with people who are involved in drugs and guns. There's nothing we can say to change that either. But we have heard from him. He knows that this is pretty much his last chance to turn his life around. He doesn't want to spend the rest of his life in prison. So we are asking for mercy, Your Honor. He has explained what his plans and goals are to the court, being get his high school diploma so he can get a decent job out there, and take enough education and courses and therapy so that he's able to break his chains of addiction, Your Honor, and also learn to be a good parent to his son who's out there waiting for him, and his wife, Miss Brenda Torres, to be a good husband to his wife. We're asking for leniency from the court, full knowledge that we can't change the fact that we're dealing with a murder here, Your Honor.
All right. And Mr. Vega, I want you to know at some point in time, our actions are our own. We can no longer blame it on the rough childhood we had, because a lot of people had a rough childhood. A lot of people had parents that were not in their lives. Some people had parents who were in their lives and shouldn't have been in their lives. But I do take in consideration when I hear that, because as a defense attorney, I used to always get upset when the state would say, well, this person didn't commit a murder and they had a rough life. I want you to know I look at people as individuals. You understand? All right. So I'm going to sentence you to 25 years in the prison. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. Take in consideration 2020 CR 6409, night mag number 68664. and 674-688. That's the county court cause number, 674-688. I'll ask for you to have the therapeutic community. You'll have to request that. That's to help you with any drug addictions that you may have. But if you don't request it, they're definitely not going to give it to you, and I can't make them give it to you. I'm going to do a no contact order with Xavier Vega until the expiration of 15 years. At that time, he'll be 21. He'll be able to hopefully make a decision on whether or not he wants to see you. So there'll be no contact with Xavier Vega. All right. I wish you nothing but the best. Good luck to you.
That was a tough sentence, but given everything presented in court, it's not surprising. The defendant had an extensive juvenile record, and the judge clearly considered his long history of criminal behavior when deciding the sentence. The case also showed that this wasn't viewed by the court as an act of self-defense. Instead, the judge focused on a pattern of choices that ultimately led to a tragic outcome. Now, instead of getting another chance on the outside, he'll be spending the next chapter of his life behind bars. One part of the ruling that stood out was Judge Boyd's decision regarding the defendant's son. The no-contact order protects the child for now while leaving the possibility of future decisions when he's old enough to make them for himself. What do you think? Can someone with a past like this truly be rehabilitated? Or was the sentence justified? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this courtroom breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more real courtroom cases.